So before break, we have completed the anatomy of young dicot root. Okay, now let us come to the TS of monocot root. Dicot, you can take the example sunflower. Monocot, you can take the example maize. As I said earlier, nearly 80% anatomy of monocot root is similar to the dicot root. Some differences are there. After explanation, we can list out the differences. Okay, listen to me. A TSO monocot root also shows three different regions. A TSO monocot root also shows three different regions, namely epiblemma. Same, exactly similar to the dicot root only. Cortex and steel TS of monocot root shows epiblemma, cortex, and stem. As I said, exactly similar to the dicot root only. Epiblemma exactly similar to the dicot root. Exactly similar to the dicot root. No difference at all. Here also, made up of single layer of compact arranged thin-walled parenchyma cells. Some of the cells produce unicellular outflow circle tract. I mean, root hairs meant for absorption of water and mineral salts from the soil. Got it? No. So that we have completed already in the dicot root. Same only, no difference at all. Then cortex definition will be the same. The tissue which lies below the epiblemma extends up to the endodermis. Extends up to the endodermis. Is called cortex. Is called cortex. Here also it is made up of several layers of loosely arranged thin-walled parenchyma cells meant for storage of the food materials. Meant for the storage of the food materials. This is the cortex. Then, innermost layer of the cortex is called endodermis. Innermost layer of the cortex is called endodermis. Exactly similar to the dicot root only. No difference at all. No difference at all. What are the characters we have discussed in dicot root? No. Same characters only. Yes. This is the endodermis, made up of a single layer of compactly arranged rectangular parenchyma cells. Rectangular parenchyma cells. These endodermal cells are thickened and radial and tangential walls due to the deposition of lignin and suberin. As we discussed in the dicot root, such thickenings are called Casparin strips or Casparin bands or Casparin thickenings. Casparin strips or Casparin bands or Casparin thickenings. That you should keep in mind. Listen to me. Exactly similar to the dicot root. No difference at all. No difference at all. Here, in the cortex, one difference I give. In old monocot root, in the old monocot root, in the old monocot root, when epiblemma dies, in old monocot root, when epiblemma dies, the outermost cortical cells, these are the cortical cells, become thick walled. Outermost cortical cells become thick walled. Such a layer of the cells is called exodermis. Such layer of cells called exodermis. It always protects the underlying tissues. This is commonly seen in old monocot root. That is should keep in mind. In old monocot root, when epiblemma dies, outermost cortical cells become thick walled. Such layer of the cells is called exodermis. It always protects the underlying tissues. Clear? Okay, listen to me. As I said, endodermis exactly similar to the dicot root only. Innermost layer of the cortex is called endodermis, made up of a single layer of compact arranged barrel-shaped parenchyma cells. Barrel-shaped parenchyma cells. Endodermal cells are thickened. on radial and tangential walls. As I said, due to the deposition of lignin and suberin, due to the deposition of lignin and suberin, due to the deposition of lignin and suberin, such thickenings are called. So these are the thickenings. Okay, such thickenings are called Casparian thickenings or Casparian bands. Such thickenings are called Casparian thickenings or Casparian bands. Got it? Also called as Casparian thickenings or Casparian strips. But as we discussed in the dipole rule, a few endodermal cells which lie opposite to the protocell, this is the protocell, do not contain Casparian strips or Casparian thickenings. Such thin-walled endodermal cells are called passage cells, also called as the transfusion cells. Such thin-walled endodermal cells are called passage cells, also called as the transfusion cells. As I said in the dichotomy, through the passage cells only, water from cortical cells enter into the xylem. Later, that xylem conducts water to aerial parts of the plant body. Clear? So same, exactly similar to the dichotomy. Here you people have got one difference. Exodermis is present. Afterwards, I am going to once again list the differences between both the roots. I think it is very clear. Look at the book. Now let us come to the steel. In monocot root, steel is larger in size. This is the one more difference. In dicot root, steel is smaller. But here overall steel is larger. And steel is larger. Here also steel is differentiated into pericycle, vascular bundles, conjunctive tissue, and pith or medulla. Pith or medulla. These are the four layers. Pericycle, vascular bundles, conjunctive tissue, pith or medulla. Here pericycle, as usual, outermost layer of the steel made up of a single layer of compact arranged thin walled parenchyma cells. Here, pericycle gives only lateral lobes. Pericycle gives only lateral lobes. Okay, doesn't give cambium. But in dicot root, it gives lateral lobes and as well as cambium. But here it gives only the lateral lobes. One more difference you got. One more difference you got. Clear? Are you following? Yes. Now let us go to the vascular bundles. Here also vascular bundles are radial, polyarc, radial polyarc, exarch, and centrifugal. One more difference you got. In dicot root there was a tetrarch, but here polyarch. Many xylem patches alternated with many phloem patches. Condition is called polyarch. Then as usual exarch and centrifugal. Radial, polyarch, exarch and centrifugal. Dicot root, radial, tetrarch, exarch and centrifugal. One more difference you got. Clear. Next, as usual, conjunctive tissue. The parenchymatous tissue present between the patches of the xylem and phloem is called conjunctive tissue. Next, pith. Here, pith is large and prominent. Here, the pith is large and prominent. Pith is large and prominent. You remember this. Pith is large and prominent. Made up of several layers of loosely arranged thin-walled parenchyma cells meant for the storage of the food materials. You got one more difference actually. Pith is large and prominent, but in dicot root, pith is absent if it is present very small. Clear? So this is the anatomy of the dicot. Monocote. Okay, now let us consider what are the differences between the dicot root and monocot root. Differences between dicot root and monocot root. Number one, exodermis. Exodermis is absent. Exodermis is absent. Exodermis is present. Exodermis is present. Then steel is smaller. Steel is smaller. Steel is larger. Steel is larger. Steel is larger. Steel is smaller. Here you can find the tetrarch. Here we can find the polyarch. Tetrarch, polyarch. Tetrarch, polyarch. Then pericycle gives lateral roots. Pericycle gives lateral roots and forms cambium and forms cambium. Here pericycle gives only lateral roots. Only lateral roots. Pericycle gives only lateral roots. Only lateral roots. Next. Fifth is small. Fifth is small. Fifth is large and prominent. Fifth is large and prominent. Fifth is large and prominent. Then finally you can take secondary growth present because of the presence of the cambium. Then secondary growth absent. Secondary growth present, secondary growth absent. So these are the differences between dicot root and monocot root. I think it is very clear for you. You remember this. So these, except these differences now, rest of the characters are exactly similar to the both dicot and monocot root only. Similar characters only. I'll repeat once again. Exodermis is absent, exodermis is present. Stele is smaller, stele is larger. Tetrarch, polyarch. Pericycle gives lateral roots and forms cambium. Here pericycle gives only lateral roots. It gives lateral roots only. Pith is small, usually absent if it is present small. Pith is large and prominent. Then secondary growth present, secondary growth absent. I think you are getting it. So with this, we have completed the anatomy of dicot and monocot roots. Got it? If you keep these differences, you can write the characters of both dicot and monocot. You remember this. Clear now? Yes. Next we'll go for the anatomy of the stems. Yes. Okay, now let us come to the anatomy of the young dicot stem. Anatomy of the young dicot stem. Anatomy of the young dicot stem. Anatomy of young dicot stem. As usual, you can take the example sunflower. Okay, or tridax. You can take. Yes. TS of young dicot stem shows